Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Gimmick. I am your host, the Canadian Nightmare. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change it just because, what we saw tonight. Uh, I am the Super Canadian Nightmare because, Cody Rhodes, he's like a Pokemon. He fucking evolved tonight, but I'm joined by the sad wrestling fan, which I don't disagree with as far as you can hear my voice, David. How's it going tonight, sir?
If you would have asked me between 5 p.m. Central Standard Time and 8:45 p.m. Central Standard Time, I would have said it is going amazing.
It's like for Punk fans, his title run, right? Before Seth cashed in, it's like, man, greatest if wrestling could just end there.
Yeah, I had a thug tear in my eye, followed by just a complete drop in sadness.
Well, yes, we're gonna get right into it at some point later on. Espos will join us. He saw it at the theater, so we'll get his experience there. We'll hear some of his thoughts, and it'll be interesting to hear his thoughts as well because he's a new fan that a lot of stuff hasn't happened for. And this is, man, what an interesting time. So because I'm gonna get the links out there before we get into that, because we're talking about all of SummerSlam Night 2. You can go back before we talk about SummerSlam Night 1 last night and some other stuff. We are going to talk about all the matches, but we're going to start off with the Cody, Cena. And honestly, though, I think we're probably going to start with the Brock thing first because the elephant in the room. But just as a quick overall, David, what did you think of Night 2 of SummerSlam before we get to the elephant in the room that I think is going to dictate at least the first 20 minutes of our conversation here? So what do you think about the show?
The wrestling and the event itself, in a vacuum of everything that happened before the occurrence at the end, was amazing. This was a great night too. Yes, the Rhea match didn't live up to her WrestleMania match, but it was still a good match. The ladder match was a great spot fest. Becky and Lyra went way better than I expected. Dirty Dom was just fun. Him versus AJ just had so many fun moments. And I loved Cody and Cena and them just both going above and beyond. They went Super Saiyan. They went Super Saiyan times two. They went Super Saiyan Blue. They went Super Saiyan Ultra Instinct. They were just going at it, and it was great. So the matches itself, the event itself was great, but it is mirrored by the blackest cloud for me.
Yeah, and it's so funny because we talked about this right last night, and overall, I pretty much agree with what everything you said. It feels very, man, it's almost like not identical because I'll say, because sometimes SummerSlam's like a sequel to WrestleMania, and this felt like that in the same way where Night One for WrestleMania was mostly a disappointment till the main event, right? Like the last two matches, I think, but really the main event. I don't think that happened. Well, no, that happened last night too with Gunther and Punk, right? Like same thing. There were some other matches that were good or fine, but the main event really saved the show, right? And then night two, same thing. I remember WrestleMania night one. I was like, oh, this doesn't feel like WrestleMania. Same with SummerSlam. Didn't feel like SummerSlam. Tonight felt like SummerSlam. It felt like blow offs. It felt like new angles. It felt like big time show. And then you get the main event, which I've said before. I like the Cody Cena match before the Travis Scott at WrestleMania, which a lot of people don't, but I actually didn't. I enjoyed it. I like Cena working heel. I thought it was good psychology, and this was good for a whole different reason. We'll talk about this. Just felt like this felt like the end of Endgame in a different way, where if the WrestleMania 41 or the 40 match was the Endgame like Portals moment, this was just like like both of them were at like Captain America looking at Thanos and his army and just like give me your best shot. Like they were throwing everything. It literally was the meme of Super Cena versus and Super Cody has been memed on a little bit, but this was literally Cody becoming Super Cody. Like it was just like, let's have these guys kill each other, and we'll get there and just talk about or kick out of all the biggest stuff they've done in their career that people don't kick out of, right? Oh my god! Of course, I got a frog in my throat now, but and then it's the exact same as WrestleMania where, night two's going good, and then the Travis Scott thing happens, that finish really bad. Same thing here where the match didn't have that. Thank God they saved this for after the match, but still it is like a super dark cloud. And what I was saying was I just got notification because people, I get maybe they just announced it, but it was like WWE's not doing press conferences anymore. And we talked about it last night, so maybe people don't know. Maybe they said something, I don't know. But it's so funny. And I said this last night, but the week that Triple H goes to the White House was a very controversial president, and you bring Brock Lesnar back. Gee, it's sure funny that they don't want to do press conferences anymore. And all I'm gonna say, I don't care because I don't think I'm ever gonna work for this man or interact in that way. To me, it just feels like Triple H is a big coward. It feels like he does not want to take any of those questions. You know why? Because he doesn't have a good response. Now, here's what I'm going to say, because this is a very tough situation all around, right? Because I think this is the definition of separating the art from the artist. Don't get me wrong, because I'm the same thing. There's tons of wrestlers. Like Cody is my favorite current wrestler. There's tons of wrestlers I like. I'm still gonna watch WWE, and that's all the case. We've talked about some multiple podcasts, like movies, like Disney, Warner Bros. Like, no, none of these companies are great or good. Like, they all have bad things they do or support. They try to do maybe some good stuff here and there, but really, it's like whether it's layoffs, whether it's supporting certain bills or presidents, or just certain ideologies or stuff like, oh yeah, you know that series on, you know, like the Pixar, like Elio, or the baseball thing, like, oh, there's a trans character, like, oh, take that out. Like, all these companies that we love their product, they do bad stuff, and that's right. Unfortunately, if you want to follow a company that doesn't do any bad stuff, the content you could watch is
Minimal.
5%, you know, like, like I guess, you know, watch the GeekVerse studio movies when we make them, because, you know, we support all that stuff. But this is the thing where, for me, this is before they're always, WWE has always been a very right Republican type of company, right? And that's fine. I'm not saying anyone's wrong, right or left, or whatever your ideology are, whatever. But this week felt very much like I worried, where UFC always had that vibe, but then they just got so deep into that type of camp and like those type of things. And it to me, I was whatever. I don't agree. Like, I'm not American, obviously, but like, I don't agree with that president. I would never vote for him. I think he's a, you know, a piece of trash, all that stuff, right? But if they want to make Triple H the head of whatever physical stuff, and he wants to go over there, that's fine. That's his prerogative. It's just funny when Triple H says, "Oh, we don't. I don't like getting political." But now I'm seeing Triple H and Trump on SummerSlam both nights, right? And then you have a guy who, he's not on trial, but he has texts that are going to be possibly in a trial, in a case with the person they ousted because he was a monster, right? And I'm saying that because they pretty much just used that to get him out. Let's be honest. Like, they knew a bunch of shit was going on. They wanted Vince out, and they got that stuff publicly. If people don't remember this, when they did a board meeting, and they, before WWE sold the TKO, they had a vote with the board members of should Vince come back. Triple H, Nick Khan, and his own daughter Stephanie McMahon voted no. He should not come back. But at that time, Vince's like, I'm coming back. I got all the power. So that's where it's like, they knew a lot of the stuff. And to me, this is just like the Trump and the Lesnar thing, where if that stuff, obviously you got to say it's alleged, right? Well, I'm not going to say anything's true, but even the fact that that trial is going to happen and things are going to go down, and his name's been all over some really bad stuff. The fact that you're not even going to wait till after, right? Even if he gets cleared, or even like if it's a Depp Amber Heard thing where it's like, it's very murky, we don't know who did what. Sure, Depp, you want to do Pirate 6? There you go. It's like, it's tough to say. This is not even after that trial or after that's closed. This is them showing, like, what happens if this happens and more were to come out about Brock Lesnar and you would just look like an idiot? It's like I said last night about the Travis Scott thing. I thought they'd learn, and they haven't. What happens if the Vince thing ever goes to Discovery and all this stuff with Lesnar is even worse than we think? And I don't think it's going to be. I think those texts are going to be pretty much it. But even if those texts are it, that's not good stuff. Like, that's really bad stuff if that's proven to be true, right? So the fact that they're not even waiting with Trump and Lesnar, they really showed this week they don't care. They don't care. They don't care if you're going to get mad. And that's why they took away the press conference, because they don't care. Like, we don't want to deal with it. We're just going to go out there, make our money. And that's how I feel. But I have more points, but I guess that's how I feel on a personal side. What were your initial thoughts, Dave, when I think we've said it, but Brock Lesnar came back tonight? I think we've just said the elephant. But yes, what happened was, Cena's in the ring, Brock's music hits him with an F5. I, for a second, thought Vince actually was coming out, because when Brock Lesnar went around the ringside and just paused for like 15 seconds, I'm like, oh, he's waiting for someone else. And I was like, they're going to make this a stupid storyline of, oh, Cena and the company turned their back on. Like, I thought for a second we were going to hear no chance, but we didn't. But don't get me wrong, I think there's a chance in 5 years you could, you know, and bring him back as a character. Like, once this thing's over and they pay people off, like, I really do. But what were your initial thoughts when you heard that music?
When I initially heard it, I let out a very loud F-bomb throughout my entire house. I am severely disappointed. I'm disappointed for multiple reasons. Yes, like you said, separating the art from the artist. I've known the political leanings of this company for a very long time. And when it comes to that, it's one of those things of I'm on no one's board of directors. I make no contributions to that. But this week alone, you had Triple H standing in the Oval Office next to someone who is on the sex offender registry list, which is Lawrence Taylor, Harrison Butker, who, as a Kansas City Chiefs fan, is most known for the fact that he told women to basically their job is to be in the kitchen, and a multiple time felon who is running the country. So you got step one. Step two, this week, all the salutes to outed notorious racist Hulk Hogan. That there is no gray area there. There is no, well, he did. Nope. He is on tape. He has admitted, hey, I messed up, things like that. And now you've brought back someone who is mentioned in a sexual assault allegation lawsuit as someone who you were going to be passed off to this man as a bargaining chip for a contract. That these are the people that you are bringing in. It shows to me just kind of where this country as a whole is going, where the morals and the decency are right out the window. You did not need Brock Lesnar for Cena's retirement run. If we never had Brock Lesnar, it would have been one of those, nope, they did have great matches, but I could have gone on. He is not one of the top three names I even think about when I think about John Cena's biggest rivalries. So I didn't need this.
Yeah.
Didn't need this, and it's a stain.
To your point, and that's just where I was going to continue, but now we'll move forward because we're still going to go have some fun, talk about SummerSlam. So to like kind of curd away from and again, I'll say this to you, brought up the Hogan stuff. If you want to pay tribute to your childhood hero and he inspire you, that's so great. I get that. But at the same time, you can't be mad about other people not being too sad about his passing. I'm not trying to wish ill will on anybody. I'm just saying, like, don't tell me, like, you should feel bad. Because, yeah, sure, he did a lot of great stuff for wrestling. But that does not take away all the other bad stuff he did, right? So that's all I can say is, yep, thanks for putting wrestling on the map. I'm not going to miss you, right? And that might sound like a mean thing to say, but like that's where it's like if you want to be remembered in a great way, if you want to be praised by everybody, or even if you're not a fan, like I'm trying to think of a wrestler that like I don't, let's just say there's wrestler B that like I didn't love. When they pass away, I'd say like, oh, that sucks. Like, had a good career. I'm sorry for his fans, his family, like good for him. If you want to be remembered fondly, you got to be a good person. You don't, I do not buy into the like, oh, well, death kind of erases everything. It's like, no. You can still, and I get it. You can be. I can understand you mourning the character of Hulk Hogan, right? I understand that point. The artist's art. Terry Bollea, I'm not gonna care. So when people we're getting mad about there's memes and there's this and that, it's like, no, man, maybe he just shouldn't have been a shitty person and that wouldn't happen. You know why? Because when fucking like I'm trying to think what other wrestler. Well, like I don't know when who recently passed away that was like on the bigger scale of people. I don't know, and even not even a bigger scale, right? It was more tragic, but even like when Brody Lee passes away, or even Bray Wyatt, right? There is no fucking memes of Bray Wyatt, this and that. And again, who knows? People behind closed doors could be a shit person, but at the same point when Hogan did that stuff, he didn't go on some big apology tour. Kind of, I won't say double down, but like subtly double down. And that's the thing where it just feels like even that was them kind of trying to tell you, like, no, just accept it. Just accept it. And then the Trump thing has, just accept it. He's doing work for Trump. And now it's like, I just accept it. And that's the tough thing because people love Brock Lesnar. And don't get me wrong, there are, I don't know if I'll say millions because I don't know if people watch Raw, but I'll say many people that watch wrestling that have very little idea about Brock. You were to ask them about Brock in this case, they'd have no idea. Like they watch, like same way when we talk about comic movies and stuff, and we know, oh, this rumor and that actor. They'll be like, oh, Henry Cavill's in his Superman movie. It's like, no, that's David Corn. So, oh, okay. Like, they have no idea. They just consume and they move on to the next thing, right? So there's tons of people, which, again, I understand. If you don't know any of that stuff and you're just a fan of wrestling, sure, I get why you're hyped for Brock to be back. But what you said there, like, yeah, for Cena. But for me, it's like, I don't think WWE needs Brock Lesnar at all. Every month, we do a PLE, and they tell me how it's the biggest pay-per-view of all time and all these records and everything like that. And what's the reasoning for like having to bring Lesnar back? I not that I would understand, but let's say there was a situation where they had this big high and then WWE just dropped in popularity and like, what do we do? Well, let's get Brock. But if they are having the best years they've ever had, then that shows me, hey, this current talent is doing it. Your promotion's doing it. Your marketing's doing it. You don't need Brock Lesnar. You're just gonna go pay him a bunch of money to show up and wrestle the same goddamn match. Like I don't understand. That's what I mean. Like, and you have people like, and Gunther's not the same character, but Gunther can replace him. You have Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is everything you'd want Brock Lesnar to be and more, and he's cheaper. And he's cheaper than him. Sure, he doesn't have the star power, but if WWE's telling me that they're the biggest they've ever been, I don't think you need the star power. This shows that, hey, your current talent's doing it. So this is why I've never understood. Like, and this was even before the Vince stuff. I always was like, I get Brock, but it's like they have the stars now to move past him. They don't need to do this stuff. And I have zero. And this is where we'll talk now. I'll put all that stuff at the side. If anyone wants to bring it up, question, sure, I'll always talk about. But just to now talk about wrestling, like I have no interest in 2025 a Brock Lesnar versus John Cena matchup. I remember in the 2010s they spammed that enough, and you know there's some fun stuff there. The SummerSlam squash, him, Seth, and Hunter Iggy. Should they bring back Brock Lesnar W2K25? I think they shouldn't have Brock Lesnar at all. Fuck, but they could because this is what I mean. They know they're doing wrong because remember Brock was in the last game and they took him out. So.
Yeah,
sure. They'll put him in there so they can get another $5 from people. I'm not fucking paying for Brock Lesnar, but Resident Justice said they want to cash in another Cena Lesnar nostalgia. I get it, but that's lame as hell. See, and this is what I don't get it, RJ. Like I get it from a point, but it's just like I just there's other nostalgia thing. Like they did that already. They did Randy and Cena, or sorry, Randy. Yeah, Randy. They did Punk and Cena. Like they did like some of those bigger nostalgias already, and I just feel like Lesnar. It's like even if you bring Lesnar back, like whether it's with Seth, or like even Gunther, right? Like that could be the stuff. But with Cena, it's like there's so many other routes I'd want to go with 4 months left of Cena, which is not actually 4 months. It's a certain amount of dates and stuff like that. But yeah, this feels, I hate to say it because it's WrestleMania, but man, it feels very Vince-like. It feels like this is what people want. And maybe some people do, but I have zero interest in this match whatsoever. This is like a bathroom break match for me now, and it's going to main event. It's going to main event like a Saudi show or something. You know it, David. It's going to be a Saudi show. You know,
it's going to be the Saudi show. So again,
oh my God, RJ, don't even say Brock versus Roman again. Don't even put that out in the ether.
No. When you mention some of his greatest rivalries, you know, Randy Orton, CM Punk, Rock, Edge all come to mind.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wasn't thinking Brock Lesnar. We've done the nostalgia run, so this final 4 months should be the Cena just having those matches that there's no possible way we can ever get. You should have the Gunthers. You should have the Braun Breakers. You should have all of these cool matches that, you know, this is it. And then let him go out on a high note. I mean, put some people over, just have some back and forth, but let him go out on a high note and call it a day. We don't need this right now. You did the nostalgia run.
Yeah.
Cool.
And this is my thing, like Hunter Iggy, I know you said like Brock Lesnar versus Jacob Fatu. My problem is Brock Lesnar multiple times, the matches are just finisher spam matches. They're not fun to watch. There's no psychology. There's no story. What happens is Brock will have one like 4-star match and then go on 2 years of having like 3-star wrestling matches, but 5-star like aura and hype moments. But like I don't like a match where it starts, Brock does a couple Germans, someone hits a move, and then F5 they kick out, F5 they kick out. Like it's just like there was a time, place, and that's what happened, which was so bad. They did that with the Cena Brock match, and that worked because that was shocking. Cena, that was Super Cena, and he got ragdoll. And then when that worked, they thought, oh, we can do this for almost every match, and some it worked, but some it can't. You know, that's the issue. So RJ says if I were to guess, they want a huge match for Perth since it's Cena going to be this. For me, it's like the huge match is seeing Cena. You know, you are seeing
Cena Gunther is a big match for me. Cena Braun Breaker is a good match for me. Like those would have sold me on watching the Perth show. Like Cena versus any of these big new guys would have been amazing. Hell, you could even had Solo come back and say challenge him one more time. Like, I would have rather seen that than this.
That's the thing where it's just like, to me, the big match is just you're seeing John Cena live in this city for the last time. You know, like that's the selling point. So I just don't buy it. And RJ said you don't get what's changed, why they removed from the video game. He's still named lawsuit because of who's in office. I know people don't want to, like, some people aren't going to want all the political stuff, but like, we live in a world where Vince McMahon could just get pardoned by Trump if he really wanted, in a day or two. Like if they really want to go away. So that's why it's like with Brock, none of that stuff's really gonna be an issue. And this is why, to me, they're showing like they don't care, and it's full UFC. It's full Dana White and Joe Rogan being there for Trump's inaugural speech and all that stuff. Like, they're just showing we don't care because we'll just do what you want. And yeah, great, yeah, he's the president, right? You can do what you want, but that's what, you know, some people voted for. It's just kind of lack of accountability. Because hey, you could maybe be a part of a sexual harassment case, but if you draw a lot of money, brother, then we'll clear that right up. Don't you worry. You know,
had Vince and Linda still been on good terms, I bet you he would have gotten pardoned by now.
Well, yeah, and I still don't even think that it's out of the question, to be honest, right? Like, I don't even think like this, and to me, is starting to show like, man, they're dipping their toes, because they just show like, oh, it's just,
and I would not be surprised if at some point while Triple H was in that Oval Office, Trump turned to him and said, hey, you guys should get that Brock guy back. I really liked seeing him. And the next thing you know, Trips is on the phone.
There. This is what we do. You know?
getting him booked over because that's what was requested of him. Again, it's not a good look. It's not needed for this. Nothing about this is okay. And it just casts a black cloud that just, it wasn't needed right now. Like, tell your stories, do good business, and this is not needed right now.
And that's the thing, RJ, that's it. Like, I completely agree. We only have 4 months of Cena left. It's still an entire month of a build to a Brock match. And yeah, that's the problem. That's where it's very Vince-like. I'm like, this is what they want to see. It's like, I don't, like, of course, there's somebody in the world that wants to see that. I just think, same thing for your talent overall, like, get him with some of these young guy. Get my boy Carmelo Hayes in there for a match. And I get it. But again, to me, it's just like Cena's out of the main event picture now. Other than his last match, maybe him and Brock might go last because it's Brock. But I don't think he's going to main event a lot of stuff. But you can have him open or just be a big mid-card match. And that's where, man, they've jinxed themselves. And we'll see what happens. But that clip in Unreal when Cena's like, well, you know, you'd really have to fuck up the last page of the book to ruin all the rest of the other pages. And man, Triple H and company are doing a sure hell good job doing it, because the heel turn, that was such a disaster. The heel turn was good, but the follow-up was a disaster.
Yeah.
And then the occurring months after that. And I still even think the way they just rid off, because that's what happened with the promo. He just said, yeah, I'm a babyface now. That's super weird. This match alone in a bubble is great. Now, and I think, David, you agree with me retroactively, now I wish we just got Cena and Cody, babyface, and this was the Mania match. I wish they just did this, and then it wouldn't have felt as bad, Cena and Brock, because like, oh, he's been doing a bunch of other stuff with, you know, other, whether it's Orton or Punk, but like other good guy nostalgia stuff. This is a match they should have had at Mania, because we'll talk about the match, but the match was a kick-ass, to me, it's like a 5 out of 5 enjoyment match. Not technical, but like, they just threw everything. It was a great time. It was just fun. And this literally did
fun moments. The coming up through the Cody Vader.
Oh like, my God, I couldn't believe that.
They were just the spots in the crowd. They were just having fun at points, you know, choking him out with the rope, everything else. Like they were going, and it was a great match. And I mean, and it is sad that my memory of this match is going to be the ending, because it was fun. It was fun from the entrances on, man. I absolutely love Cody's entrance with the Dusty promo and the use of his line from the Hard Times promo about this is for the man, you know, lost his job after 10, 12 years, like all of that. I was like, man, if you're going to come out to Dusty, you better be winning. And they just went prime tit for the tat. You know, a lot of people were saying that this was Superman versus Superman, or some people said Superman found his Ultraman. I'm like, nah, man, this is Superman versus Homelander, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, Cody played up. It's funny, he played up like he did his New Japan like heel face a little bit, but when he was doing it, I was like, your heart's not fully in this. That's how I knew he wasn't turning heel too, because his face just looked like, I don't want to like fully get there, but he did some isms, and Yeah, that's the thing where it's tough too because Cena, even the first like step bump, either he was really good selling, which he could be, but he took that step bump and he was like moving a little slow. I was like, oh man, that's a
Yeah.
tough way to start. But that's the thing where this is like, this should have been like Cena's last, like this should have been Cena's last match. This to me felt like a literal. We talked about this in the Discord. Super Cena passing the torch to Cody, not as like a future guy, but like as the like you're Super Cody now. Like you can like the STF with the rope. Cena always beat people that like people wouldn't get out of
Yeah.
it. The Avalanche AA people don't kick out of that. So it's like and same thing. The three crossroads people don't kick out of that.
The
But
crossroads to the table. I mean, like all of this
or
was
the
just,
cutter.
it
He did
was
the cutter.
yeah,
for
the
yeah,
cutter to
which
the
was
table.
all-
It was just
they pulled it off.
fun.
And I was like, I was
so
surprised.
fun.
And that's the thing. RJ says, "How do you think WWE sponsors are going to feel about Lesnar being back?" I don't think they're going to care. To be honest, most of them. I think most.
If they're making money, they don't care.
Yeah, I think that it's the same way as studios, movie studios, and all this stuff. Like, it doesn't really matter. And that's the thing where it's going to be interesting to see. And maybe it won't be anything at all. If the talent's just like, whatever, I want the money, that's cool. But you had a week where some wrestlers were saying how they'd be pissed if you were working the whole Seth thing. That was work. And you know, a lot of people did not know Brock was coming back. It's the reason they're not doing press conferences anymore because Triple H is just tucking his tails behind his legs. And he has no good answer. He has nothing to say, or he's like, oh, it's a legal issue and I don't want to talk about it. The same way as like when all the Vince stuff broke and they're like, hey, you read the documents? Like, oh yeah, I just don't have time for that. You're telling me your father-in-law and the owner of the company is going through something, and you as like second in command's like, yeah, I just don't got time to read those very important documents. It's like, fuck off, man. And
You're
that's like,
chief content officer, and you haven't
Yeah.
read the documents that are affecting your, because you have to put out this content. People are going to be showing up with signs and booing and
Yeah.
everything else. You had to have read something.
and this is where it's so funny. This feels like a little like a calm before the storm because I went on a rant last episode with the Punk Saudi stuff. That was a sign for me too. Where Punk, when I was a young like Punk, like I didn't drink and do drugs before, but when I saw CM Punk the wrestler, he was the first person I ever heard hear the word straight edge. I was like, man, this guy speaks to me. And then all the years, obviously pipe bomb, but the stuff after that felt like when he said something, he meant it. It felt like, man, this guy is a true rebel, and I can ride with him. I still ride with him as a character and a wrestler, but as the guy to say all this stuff. But then he just bent the knee to be at the Hogan tribute. He bent because here's the funny thing: Roman was at Raw. He wasn't. I'm not saying Roman's like a good guy. I'm just saying he fucking big leagued them, and he wasn't at the Hogan tribute, you know. And even then, when Punk bent the knee and went to Saudi, that's where it's like, sure, I bet the talent might be pissed, but they're probably gonna bend the knee. And if they aren't, then you know what? At least that's a good thing. There is a second viable company. I'm not saying AW will. This will make AW blow up and challenge them. No, I'm just saying that there's another company that is successful and can pay you well. So if enough people think, you know what, this isn't for me, they can get out of there. And that's why I'm so thankful for AEW. Not making it, oh, AEW is so much better, because I'm sure they've done some bad shit too, but I just think,
Yeah.
and not as bad as the Brock Vince stuff, I feel. But like, that's where it's like, I'm just happy there is another place for me as a viewer, but also as the talent, because it's not just one big fish and we're kind of screwed, right? And it's just, I don't know. But yeah, it's no duh that no talent knew because they just don't want to risk. Because again, this guy is involved in a trial about sexual harassment, maybe sexual assault, and Triple H wants to be on Unreal. Like, yeah, the women are the backbone of this company. They're most possible. It's like same thing, like you said. Like, even if he like he doesn't think these people did these things, to have three daughters and be standing beside some of those guys, it's like, dude, like, it's such a bad look, and it's just so funny. I feel like, man, Triple H when he took over was like the savior of WWE, but man, his legacy is just getting hurt and hurt like every month as it goes on, and it's stuff he doesn't even need to do. He doesn't. He can say, you know what, Trump, that's really like that's great and all, but like I just don't want to. I don't want to. You know, I don't have. You could just say I'm busy. I have too much. I want to spend time with my girls. Whatever. Maybe
We got SummerSlam this weekend, so I can't make it.
Yeah.
I support it, but I can't make it.
Yeah, like Linda McMahon's enough, but it's like with Triple H, just like, but that's where it's like they don't care. They're full UFC. They don't care. They're gonna show it off. They're full in the mega mode and everything. And that's where it's like, to me, it's like, you know, but Ricky, this is the different thing. You say WWE is like Marvel that bring back old actors for different roles. Sure, but the good thing about uh, Captain America is when Chris Evans comes back in Doomsday and he's playing Captain America. The Captain America character, I don't need to worry. Gee, was he a part of sexually assaulting an employee? Like, like that's not the thing. And not to be saying same, but look at what they did with Majors. When there's one guilty thing, they're like, "Okay, we got to part ways and get the hell out of there." And that they didn't even recast that role. They just got rid of Kang, which I disagreed with. I thought you should recast Kang. I love the Kang
we're
character.
going in a completely different. We are scrapping our entire 10-year plan and going in a different direction because.
But don't worry, we always planned that. We always
you
planned
have you have an open case, and we don't want to be associated with this. So
and don't get me wrong, yeah, 100. That's exactly what it is. Like, right? It is when they bring back those people. It is like the old actors. I get that. It's just this has a lot of baggage, but again, it's just the fact of like. It's tough, but for me, we still cover the show. I'll be watching big events, but it does make me like less inclined to like watch all the stuff now, right? Or support them as much. And that's the stuff that happens, which I don't think is going to happen, but it was more creative. But that's how AEW did get born. When W got so bad and people were like, I'm just done with this company, tons of people stopped watching. They moved over to New Japan, and then they created that company. Again, I'm not. WWE is Disney. WWE is never going to go out of business like in the next 100 years. They are a megaton. Like they are fun. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying is you do hurt your fan base. And the thing about it is right now they got a lot of general audience people, right? There will be a time, like always in wrestling, it ebbs and flows, where general audience people will bounce away and then they'll go, oh crap, we lost a lot of general audience and then we lost a lot of our hardcores. What do we do? And that happened with AEW. That's when they started doing the like paying FTR overpaid because like we don't want you going to, or Gallows and Anderson, like we don't want you going to AEW, and then they still fire them, like all this stuff. And if people don't forget, like, or don't remember, like AEW is getting close to getting to certain Raw numbers. I don't think it's going to be like that now, but you never know. It ebbs and flows and stuff like this, but it depends how much of a big, push it is. But this doesn't leave me wanting to watch. This was not like, oh, I can't wait for Monday Night Raw. I was like, and I've had a lot of that lately with WWE, whether it's the Punk stuff, other just creative stuff, and even just on a pure creative level, this John Cena thing is bad. This whole retirement run is bad. This is Triple H's worst. Whoever it is, Triple H, he's the final say guy. This is his worst run, and this is something you're gonna look at as like, you really fucked this up. Like this was really bad, and like I give Cody and Cena all the credit for this match. I'm not giving it to Papa H. Like that's the thing where, and even if it's not his idea, he went with it, and I don't care if it was The Rock, this and that, like tons of stuff. Like this is gonna be a real bad look on him as far as just like creative wise, not even on the real life stuff, just creative wise. It just sucks, but and it sucks too because the match was great. They had a phenomenal match, a great SummerSlam main event. I was completely fine with it going off and pyro, everything. I loved just little stuff that they hugged, they shook hands. He pretty much did the how is his run bad? Because I'm talking Pete. I don't know how to say your last name, Potso. I'll just call you Pete, so I don't want to screw you up to be disrespectful. Because to me, it's just like movies; it's all subjective, right? Or yeah, it's all subjective. Like Ray from the Flight Cast says. To me, it like if I guess you can say the Cena heel run was great. That's up to you. I'm not even talking about the Brock Lesnar thing. I'm talking about from Rumble to when Cody pinned him. Just that sequence right there. There's so much bad stuff in there that just sucks, and that's great, Pete. You say he was entertaining as heel. Now it's Cody's turn running back and carry the belt because he was gone. And that's where I disagree, and obviously many people do. I don't think Cena was bad. I think what they gave him was really poor. And no, there's times he was bad. Remember that promo he cut on Jey Uso starting its main event?
Yeah.
Hello, Jey Uso. Wouldn't it be bad if Logan Paul, who wants to ruin your title reign, ruin wrestling? Oh, shucks. Like, there was bad moments in this run that was also Cena. So, great for you. You enjoyed it. For me, and I think a lot of other people, it's looked at as like LOL, you really screwed this up. Like to me, this is like a Sting WWE run where it's you fucked it up, man. You lost.
It started off hot. He had some great promos. It was capturing the moment of being a heel, but then the fallout of them not knowing what they were doing with The Rock and Travis Scott and everything else, it fizzled off, and then it felt like it had no true direction other than you're getting to witness Cena as a heel. There was no true direction to it. So it was no longer as fun and innovative when all the other aspects of it fizzled out. it probably had great potential if they had continued that run with wherever they were going with Travis Scott, wherever they were going with The Rock and all this other stuff. But all that fizzled out pretty quickly. Now you just had Cena trying his best to be endearing in every other aspect of his life. And then that music hits and he puts on that face like he just smelled some piss and he's walking out there trying to be the big bad guy. So,
and this is the thing, like Pete, you say he's done in 4 months anyways. That's exactly it. He's done in 4 months. There's nothing left. And I agree. You can say, oh, The Rock dropped the ball. He wasn't there. Did The Rock book Randy Orton and John Cena the Backlash match? He had our true friend there to stop. And Randy, who like is a cold-blooded killer, is like, I don't want to hurt R-Truth. Or remember the Cena CM Punk match where they just had like a bunch of weird shenanigans? They're having like a fine match, but like all this weird stuff, and they're doing stuff in the middle. Like Rock didn't book that, you know. Rock didn't book a promo that Cena just cut 2 days before the match. But like, you know what? I'm no longer heel. I'm a babyface now. And
I changed
Cody,
my mind.
Yeah, I know I embarrassed you in front of your family at WrestleMania. I nutshotted you, but I'm a good guy now. You want to hug it out? Let's hug. You want to have a beer? Like, I still think at times Cody looks like kind of lame because he's just like, yeah, it's fine. Like, whatever. It's like, no, like it's not even that he turned heel to win the match. Like, at the Rumble, he beat you up. He like that was like they made that like an assault. That heel turn. It wasn't just like I cheated to win. It was I took something from you. So it's just like, nah, it's all good. So that's what I mean. Like it's not just The Rock. People, I think that's the biggest strawman argument. I think people have nothing. Like no merit there when they just put this all on The Rock. The Rock did not book all this stuff. The Rock's not throwing R-Truth in the Backlash finish. He's not throwing all the shenanigans in the Night of Champions finish. He's not saying, hey, Cena, you know how you should cut this promo on Jay? Just like this. He's not like one of the matches we got for Cena's retirement run was him and Logan Paul versus Cody and Jey Uso. What? Like The Rock didn't book that, so again, it's not all The Rock. I think that's where it's just people. I think they got too much of the WWE Kool-Aid, and you know, good for you, you can enjoy that Kool-Aid, but that Kool-Aid is run, man. So anything? Oh, another point I really liked in the match when they hugged at the beginning, and it was like all nice, and then like, okay, let's just have this match. They fight. I thought it was a great start.
Oh, amazing start. The hug and then straight into the. I'm like, yes, do it. Just go for it. That was great. So those are pretty much my final thoughts on this match. Like I said, it was a great match. It was a fun match. The match itself did everything that it needed to do and even exceeded my expectations. I am happy with the match itself, and everything else would just stand as it will.
Yeah, exactly. I have to look at the match like in a bubble, you know, I'm so glad the match didn't have Brock come back in the middle. Like, I'm so happy that was like separate, you know.
We hugged, he had his exchange. You saw Cena saying, you know, I gave it my all and everything else. We had all of that. So I can legitimately look at the match within a bubble of itself and say, this was good.
Yeah. And this thing, Pete, you said, you're putting words in my mouth. You said, you can't just say, well, The Rock didn't book it, so he's off the hook. Never said The Rock's off the hook. I'm saying all that stuff was bad too. We've talked about this many times about The Rock bouncing. Man, that sucked. Two people can make a mistake. It's not just like, that's the thing where people are like, well, you can't just be, oh, it's Team Rock or Team Triple H. You can just say, hey, you know what? There was a lot of errors made by everybody. And you know what it reminds me of, David? It reminds me of Henry Cavill coming back to Superman, where wasn't his fault, but everyone, which funny, The Rock's involved in that too, but it's like everyone just fucked that up, and it sucks for Henry Cavill. To me, John Cena's in this, where John Cena's notorious of, hey, I'll just do whatever you book me and I'll try to do my best, right? I just feel like Triple H, Nick Khan, Bruce Pritchard, The Rock, everybody fucked this up for him, you know, and he's not gonna care, he's gonna be fine, but I'm still saying, like, it would be great to, like, when Cena said, hey, we're doing something we've never done before, we announced my retirement, do a fun year, like, that could have been remembered very fondly, you know, and even if the heel turn was a success, very fondly. But now it's like, oh yeah, remember the last one? All I hope is that the last match that Cena has is something like this, where it's super great, you know, it's something that we can remember and love. And finally, we'll move on after this, is pizza. So all of this bad booking you're saying that's happening is because The Rock isn't following up on any of Cena's. No, it's not. It's not though, because
it takes everybody. It takes everybody.
Because then, to me, my counter would be, okay, if Triple H is this great creative, you got to work with it, brother. You got to make it work. Like, you can't just be like, well, you know, I'm gonna book shit just to make it shit, and just even now,
Yeah.
like, and Triple H is like, they're taking all these pot shots at Travis Scott, which sure, if he left you high and dry, sure, but it's like, this is the way Triple H operates. So it's like, there's a better way to do this stuff. There's things like, again, you don't need to have him team with Logan Paul, like, do something else in that retrospect. But the other point I want to put, and then we're gonna move on from this, the counter that I loved was Cody does a pop up. He did like the Kevin Owens pop up powerbomb, but it was a sit down. He gets him for the pin. They do the count, and then when Cena kicks out, he grabs Cody's leg and puts in the FTSU or the FTF. The STFU. It was just a great counter, and it was so fluid. So yeah, there's lots of good stuff in here. I think Cena worked really hard. I hope that guy's good tomorrow. I bet his body's
Man, he put on a hell of a show. I will. You know what, Cena?
suplex on the guardrail. On the
I give it up to you. You do not have to go this hard at this point in your career. You are doing it for the love of the game and for the fans, and I applaud you for that.
Exactly, and that's why I wish this was the last match, because it felt like, hey, I'm gonna destroy my body because I'm not wrestling again after this, and I don't think he is wrestling again like immediately, but that's what it felt like. I'm gonna go out on my shield, but yeah, we'll see. We'll keep talking about the Cena, heel turn and the run and everything like that for years, but yeah, we'll talk about John as we go. We got a John Brock match, which I just hope like he hit him with an F5. And I would be completely fine if they never. They just moved on. Like Cena just moved somewhere else and Brock just moved somewhere else. I'd be fine if they just ignored this at all. It was like, oh, that was just Brock's statement to come back, and that's it. Like the same way that Roman, beat Braun and Bronson, but doesn't care about Seth at all. He's like, yeah, whatever. He turned on me in Mania, took my manager. That's all good. I'll get him back after I film Street Fighter. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll go back to the very beginning of the show. And obviously, more notes could pop up throughout. But we had the women's triple threat. Like you said, I echo your thoughts, where not as good as the Mania one, but I didn't expect it like this. I don't say this in a mean way, but Naomi is not a Bianca Belair, but Bianca Belair is like a top 10 talent. And I'm not even like, I might be able to say top 10, not even like in WWE, just like in wrestling.
In and out of the ring. I mean, the girl is
Man
a
and
freak
women,
of nature athlete. She is amazing. Yeah, it would be. They're not a comparison. Now, I will say this: the minute that Naomi made her entrance, I was like, "Oh, she winning. She big time winning. She got her daddy out here doing the damn thing.
Oh,
She is big time." And Io Sky was taking some crazy bumps throughout this entire match. I mean, she is just an incredible worker. Her offense the bumps that she was taking, man, I love to watch her in these big matches because she is just incredible. And Rhea's Rhea, I mean, we have talked on her for the last year and a half, just how great she is. I mean, it was awesome. So her taking the pin and having that moment and her looking so I don't know.
She did take the pin, right? I forgot about that. Yeah,
I don't know where these women are going to go from here, but there were so many stories. There was the Naomi's never won at SummerSlam story. There was the Rhea's never beat Io story. Like there's so many moments to this, and I'm just like, but they put on a good match to start. And I have in my notes, and I think I even said it in the Discord, like most entrances I don't like in the daytime stadium. For some reason, I love Rhea's entrance in the daytime. It always just looks amazing. I don't know why. Because those
purples and black. She stands out, I think, because the black, usually if it's dark, blends in, but the black just like pops when it's the daylight thing going on.
Yes, for her, it looks great. Like when she came out in her WrestleMania entrance, when she had Motionless in White doing the entrance, like all of these daytimes ones, she looks incredible for this. So.
Well, speaking of someone who looks incredible, Mr. S-Bubs is here. S-Bubs, you're not going to believe it. We're at the 43-minute mark, and we've only talked about one match, but,
we've only talked about it for 2 minutes.
yeah, and we talked about the main thing, but what did you,
I was listening to it on the way here.
Yeah, we got lots of rants out of the way, so we don't got to cover too much of that stuff, but what did you, we'll get your thoughts on, you hit the triple, your thoughts on how was the theater, and then SummerSlam Night 2, and then Cody, Cena, and then the women's triple threat.
Yeah, the theater, it was fun. There was only like 2 other people there.
Oh,
like,
no. This theater's like, we're not doing it again,
Yeah. But no, yeah, it was cool to see it on the big screen and everything.
Hmm.
And it sounded good and everything, so I was good. I was worried it was gonna be like insanely loud, but it
That's
was
good.
good. What else? The Cena Cody match. Yeah, I really loved that. Like I was saying it like in the Discord and stuff. It's not like it's what the Mania match like should have been pretty
Hmm.
much. And on like the Brock stuff, it's pretty much all you guys said. It's just like at the very like just like lowest tier of it is just like not necessary is my
No.
thought on it. But
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much all you guys said. And you said the women's triple threat.
Yeah, we just talked about that right now about Naomi getting the win on Rhea and Io and whatnot. Talking about not being main. Actually, I haven't even talked about, but not kind of being mania. But they worked the style that I thought was going to be of like Naomi playing the chicken shit sort of heel, and I think that was fun and it worked. I think they took a little too long of like the setup for Io and Rhea was teaming up was like taking forever. They're like staring at the ring and they go to one side, they go to the other. It's like, are they cleaning up the entrance wrap or something? But yeah, what did you think? Because you're a big fan of triple threats. So and we've got a lot of triple threats this year. I feel like both WWE and AW are spamming these triple threats. But what did you think about this? So
No, yeah, I liked it. It was not as good as the Mania match, but it was a different style. Uh, I thought, yeah, I agree that the start felt like a little slow, but I thought once they got into it, it was pretty fun, and it was pretty much the finish that I expected, which is like another time that like Rhea basically has like EO beat, but still hasn't beat her.
yeah, and it's funny because I forgot when David said that she got pinned. That's where I think it's a good way to get Io and Rhea out of the title picture for a while. Because even though it was a cash in, Naomi beat Io to win the title, and then to defend the title, she pinned Rhea. So you could make the argument like, hey, you guys should be at the bottom of the, back of the line. No more shots for you for a while, which I think is good. We got Stephanie obviously next and Paris, so we'll see who goes there. But again, hot opener. Everyone jokes about the Triple H Rhea pop, but like every time like Rhea pops and gets a big thing and comes out, and yeah, I'm curious to see where these characters go and whatnot. And then next we got the six-pack TLC with all the teams. I'm not gonna name. Everyone knows them. Wyatt Six goes over, but man, these guys were trying to kill each other. Like there is some crazy stuff in here.
These guys and girls were trying to kill each other because goddamn Candace.
Yeah, Candace, that was crazy spot. When I saw
Candace took like the top dollar fall through the ladder.
Yeah, she
TNA
did.
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, when I saw Axiom and I can't remember, it was Dawkins. When they did especially
The
Dawkins,
Spanish Fly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dawkins
I'd
who's like a
never
bigger
seen that
dude.
before,
He's a
yeah.
bigger dude. It's not like two lightweights. It's like they're the top rope and they did a Spanish Fly to the floor through the tail. All I had was flashbacks of Eddie Kingston because I'm like, they're gonna hit their legs like guardrail and especially when they first shot, I thought I saw Dawkins' leg on there, but it wasn't. But I was like, they're gonna hit that guardrail and someone's shin or ankle is gonna snap. I was like, this is so dangerous. But again, that was a fun spot of like all four tables are have guys on them. Like I think they tried their best. I feel bad for whoever does a TLC next because it's like, man, what else
I
is
feel
next?
like
Like
they kind of have to like leave it for
Yes.
like a long while now.
yes, I don't think because they did so many different. Like my favorite spot of the match. Kudos to Ciampa and his abs because man, they're trying to recreate the Jeff Hardy
I
edge
loved
moment.
how they it like subverted it.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
so, Ciampa's doing the hang title thing where that's where Hardy was, and then he's gonna Nathan Frazier is gonna go and jump and do a spear, or some sort of move. He jumps, and then Ciampa with those great powerful abs buckles his way up, and then he wraps his legs around the titles and the post, and Nathan completely missed him. Like he countered an uncounterable move. Like that should be like, oh, you're dead to rights. You can't do this.
Yeah.
No, he countered it. He still didn't get the titles, but that was a phenomenal stuff. Like this match had multiple just dangerous spots, but really memorable. Like cool. Like that, a very cool spot of Ciampa like crunching his way out of a spear. So
One of my favorites too, that was just like a quick one, was like when Andrade pretty much just like threw Phoenix up to the titles like with no ladder.
Oh
Yeah.
Like
yes,
Oh, that was
the
great.
running
Yeah,
on
yeah,
his
yeah.
shoulders,
yeah, he
or
like jumped and like I mean he touched the titles. Like if this is
Oh, yeah.
a shoot ladder match, he could have brought them down. But
My kids went crazy for that spot because
yeah.
they like react like, can he do that? I'm like, I guess so. Like, I guess they could do. But like, that was a great moment. And then they did the, as Bubs, I know you love TLC WrestleMania 17, but they did that where they had like all their managers
Yeah,
inside
I knew it
people
was
run
gonna
through,
happen.
which
Like I
I
said it on
love.
the predictions. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think a total of like 16. It's ended up being a 16-person ladder match.
Yeah, and Uncle Howdy pretty much got them the win with the big
Yeah.
table spot and the
Yeah.
push.
Well, once I saw because he started walking down the ringside like way before he got in the ring.
At one point, he
I
was just crouched.
yeah, when I saw him there, I was like, oh, so Uncle Howdy's like winning this
Yeah.
thing.
yeah, Nathan Frazier taking that super kick off the flip. Oh, that was.
Oh yeah.
Oh, just guillotined him. You
when
know,
he
it was
when,
crazy.
when Ciampa was like hanging and like right in that spot where like Johnny super kicked him and he went for like a springboard, I thought Frazier was gonna like do like a like springboard off the top rope and like somehow like grab Ciampa like backwards or something. But yeah, they did the super kick spot.
Yeah, no, that's like I said, they went crazy. I did notice, and I don't know if they did this with the last TLC on SmackDown, but which is I get it's for their safety. It's all fine, but they did the classic Matt Hardy Bubba Ray spot where it's a 4 tables stacked outside. But did you see the 2 bottom tables had holes in them so that the top table could go in the hole so they would
I
be
didn't notice
secure?
that.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
watch that back, they had like security holes to make sure the tables didn't slide. Which again, it's all good, but it's just like it just took me out of it for a moment because like,
On the
okay, well, clearly
Yeah,
that's
on the
happening.
SmackDown one, they didn't do stacked tables.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't
think
remember
the last
that
time
one.
they did stacked tables was like they did some in like the Sammy and KO like unsanctioned match, but those are like
Right.
those are like very much like I think normal tables because I remember they took like a while setting this up.
Yeah. So yeah, and then Bray Wyatt or no shit, terrible slip. Bro Dallas comes in, or Uncle Howdy, he comes in, he does the big push, and yeah, he pretty much gets the win. And yeah, the Wyatt Six still the tag team champions for now, which was interesting because when Joe Gacy was up there, that he was starting to get booed. So I was like, oh, maybe, which is I'd be fine.
They're like pretty much heels. Like I'm pretty sure they
Okay.
cheated to win the tag titles.
Okay, and I'm fine with that. They
Yeah.
kind of botched the whole like them being the scary good guys. They never Triple H, Vince. They never knew how to book the. Vince was always weird for me because he was so good at booking babyface Undertaker. I never understood how he couldn't book babyface Bray. Like it's very similar strokes and whatnot. But yeah, they got the titles. We'll see what happens next with that. After that, what was
After
it
that
Lyra
is Becky and Lyra. Yeah, Becky and
Yeah.
Lyra.
Yeah,
With Becky's new entrance music.
Yeah, which I liked. It was good. It'll take a little getting used to, but I hope when she's babyface she goes back to the other one. But maybe she won't. I liked it. Really liked the Titantron video as well. That was cool. So
Yeah. They had a lot of cool spots. And then they had that interesting spot when Lyra's trying to like pull Becky and then re-whip her into the ringside. And the cameraman is right there. And she throws her into the cameraman.
and she apologized. She apologized mid match, but
She's like, oh shit, my bad, my bad.
yeah. What did you think, S Bubs, of this match?
I enjoyed it, but I was definitely like a bit disappointed because, like I said, it's like I thought like with this and the Cena and Cody match, I thought it was gonna be like the opposites of what they were. I felt like I thought that like Lara and Becky was gonna be just very much like the other matches they have, very much in ring, and just like the no DQ, no count out was just sort of to do stuff on the outside for longer. While it ended up being like what I thought the Cena and Cody match was gonna be, was just like like the weapons match and using all this sorts of stuff, and not really much like actual wrestling, especially with the whole story of Lyra being like zip tied, which just also felt like it just kind of went on like forever. And the resolution was
Yeah.
like off screen pretty much. She just like broke out of the.
Well, she was trying. That I guess that was probably they probably rehearsed it because she was trying to break it with the fire extinguisher with the handle. Because Barrett gave this whole explanation of like, oh, that's what the British Secret Service do. Like they're trained that. So I bet they did in rehearsal and it worked. And of course now it didn't. But it felt like midway through the match she took a bump or something that changed the straps because she kept like fucking with her hands like multiple times. Like, there's a time
Yeah.
where she was just like this, and then after she took a bump, there's like she kept messing with it. So I think and when she got off, there was like a cut on her. So I think at one point it was just like, oh, or maybe got like tightened even more somehow. And I think she was just
Yeah.
like, I can't.
I
And
think
kudos
that's
to her working
think,
that way.
Yeah, I think under the ring there was probably just like scissors or something because yeah, she tried doing
Oh,
it
there's
on
a
the
person
fire
under there for
extinguisher.
sure. I
Yeah.
bet too. There's a
They
worker on
did
there.
the fire
That
extinguisher and then like they just like it didn't cut and then they just cut to like Becky just like walking on the outside and like Lara rolled under the ring and by the time they cut back she was out and like they were broken. So you probably just went under the ring and just needed help with that.
we're gonna get back to the match, but I just have to share this because it's just like Curb Your Enthusiasm funny stuff. So this is the crowd chanting at Triple H that that they want Cross. Do I got the audio here? Where is it here? You got okay. Hang on.
You have him. You've got him. Yeah. You want Brock? You've got him. You've got him. Yeah. You want Brock? You've got him.
Like I legitimately do believe he probably just like misheard them, but it just feels like it just like even tonight like just like,
He's doing the Simpsons. No, they're
gaslighting
saying
them.
boo earns, boo earns.
You want Brock? You got him. Like that's the thing. Like Brock Lesnar came back, and these fucking people are chanting for Karrion Kross. But it's just like I guarantee you he misheard. But it's just so funny. We want Kross. You got him. You got him. Oh man, yeah. We'll see. And then Rhea Ripley tweeted out that she hates SummerSlam. I think Rhea Ripley is being very smart because she's undefeated at SummerSlam, so that is the reason. But the fact that it came right after the end, it's like, I feel like that's some, for sure. But she ain't going anywhere. She's plaster scene there and stuff. But no, this match was. This was an odd one. I really really enjoyed it. The finish was something else that I'll get into, but I guess no, it is the finish. But like the creative stuff, I love. We had a weapons match where they're using weapons we don't see all the time. The zap straps, the chain.
Going full Jason Todd over there with the crowbar.
Yeah, because so many times WWE, it's like table, chair, and kendo stick. Like that is usually the weapons match, the street fight. So it was nice to see that stuff broken out. I loved Lyra working the handcuff gimmick. I loved how much they wrestled there. I love her doing the moves. I thought she looked like a badass. She's doing those spin kicks with no hands, so that throws off her balance. But she's just like, again, as I said, she is the female Daniel Bryan of the WWE. She's even a little further ahead as far as character stuff. I love watching her more and more. Like I liked enough of her in NXT. I didn't watch NXT full time, of course. That's my fault there. But as I watch her, she's climbed the ranks to be a favorite. And I loved. There's so many good creative spots. Like I loved that she put her. I have their notes written for it too, but she puts Lyra in the chair in the middle and she's throwing her around, and that moment where she puts her on the commentary table and she jumps and kicks it down. I thought, and Becky's like that. Becky is really good at thinking of even the finish for the triple threat last month. Like her wrestling mind is really good. The only thing that I found weird was they tried to do this thing where Bayley cost her the match accidentally, which I like more, hashtag, Espos told you he was right, but like, or Espos said so, use the alliteration, do like I do, but like which was, what was odd for me was Bayley cost Lyra the match, but like as Lyra, I don't think she can be mad because like Becky had Lyra dead to rights. Like Becky was going to hit her with a crowbar and like end the match. So like Lyra had lost. Like it was already over for her. Like literally Becky was the one that was like getting cheated out of the match. Like she would be the babyface in the scenario where Bayley did nothing to help Lyra. So even if Lyra's like, you cost me my shots, like, no, lady, you were going to lose anyways. Like you were dead. You're in the chair there. So yeah. It was weird, and even the finish was weird, and I think they're trying to go for Bayley's, like, confused, because she hits her with the chain, and then they go for the finish, and Bayley's just watching it.
She had time to get in there and
but I think they're going with, like, maybe she wanted to get pinned, but if they don't go that route, it's like, why didn't Becky just hit her with a boot then? Like, it felt a little WCW overbooked for me of, like, they should have done some, like, Becky doesn't have a heater. I don't know what they could have done, but it just felt odd where Bayley made Lyra lose the match that she was already losing. Like maybe they should have made Bayley the special guest referee or something. I know they did it with Bianca, but it just felt odd there. But yeah, Lyra lost. Can't challenge Becky while she's champ, and I guess we're getting Bayley and Lyra. And at this point, I would have rather Bayley just done the the heel turn and just screw Lyra. You know, I think this was a little clunky for me, and it was not. This is to me the weakest out of the 3 matches they've had on the main roster. I thought this was going to be their 5-star. Like, this could be one of the best women's matches of all time. I thought they kept saving stuff, and I think they're still, I guess, holding on to that, because this wasn't that. This was definitely a plunder weapons match, I guess what I was saying. So
Yeah, it over delivered for me in terms of what happened in the match, but the ending itself, it was a little bit convoluted. Like, I expected more of a traditional match with a couple of spots here and there. I thought the only reason why the no DQ was in there was more so for having Bailey have her moment within the match. That's how they were going to get around that. But no, they over delivered with a lot of those weapon spots, a lot of their high flying moments. It was good there, but yeah, the ending itself is just, it was kind of all over the place and a little bit disjointed.
Yeah, I wonder. I know you were booking this a little bit, Espubs. Are you still on that Rhea Becky IC title run potentially? Or what do you think's next for Becky?
For Becky, I feel like
I'd actually
they
like
can
one
still
Bailey
do
match too.
Bailey match.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like right now that's what's next. After that, I'm not really sure. I don't now, like the whole Rhea thing at this point. I don't really think it's. I think more likely now they might do the Rhea and Io tag stuff. Especially with now, like they didn't like with Naomi getting the pin. It's not like oh, like Rhea pinned Io or something. Like they didn't like cost each other the match or something like that.
Yeah.
Like Naomi just like beat Rhea, which I do think they're actually gonna do the tag stuff.
Really?
But,
That's going to be interesting. That's going to be a big, because that's going to be babyface teams, you know, unless they make Bliss. They can always swap, but I don't think they're going to. That's going to be interesting. Oh, yeah. No, I'm trying to think, because I know you pitched that match for Perth. It could happen.
It could happen. I don't know if right away. I definitely do think they're gonna have tag matches, like especially if they just continue being like friends, like even through all the matches they've had and stuff. But I forgot where we started. Oh yeah,
we're just
what's
talking
next
about
for
Becky.
Becky? Yeah.
And plus, if the draft does happen, there's new people there, right? Whether it's NXT people, whether it's other people on SmackDown. Maybe they're like, hey, Becky, we really want you to work with Jade and show her the ropes. We really want you, like, your pet, you know, you got Lyra over. Can you get Jade? And you know what? Becky's good enough. Maybe Becky is the key. Maybe Becky's the last piece that Jade needs to, like, wake up and get something, because Becky is one of the best.
Should,
you know?
like, just switch the mid-card titles. Like, they did that with the men's a few years ago. Like, the IC in the US, they just, like, changed them from... Because Gunther, when he won, like, the IC, that was, like, on SmackDown. And then eventually they just moved the IC to Raw and the US title to SmackDown.
No, you know what you do?
Just do that with the women's titles.
You have Charlotte win the U.S. title. You have Charlotte beat Julia for the U.S. title, and they do that stupid belt swap thing again, the hand off, which was so dumb. But like now,
I thought you were gonna say like do like one of those tag matches where like every title's on the line and like where it's like one person is like a double champ or something like that.
They've done it, or like my favorite back in the day was I think I showed this out last podcast, not last time, but the one before, was when AJ and Kurt were a team, and AJ and Kurt were tag team champions. Kurt was TNA World Champion, AJ was X Division Champion. Then they had one match for all the titles. So the next pay per view, Kurt won, of course, and the New Japan Championship as well, but that spoiled it because everyone's like, New Japan at that point's not going to let them change titles on non Japan. But then when Kurt won at the next pay per view, he had to defend the tag titles alone. He didn't get to select a partner. He was just like, he defended the X Division tag and the world title all in one night, and he lost them all except for the world. You know, Kurt, man, he's the fucking best. Watch, he's gonna come back next. They're gonna do Brock and Kurt next. You know, so. Oh man. Yeah. Anything else on Lyra? Obviously, Lyra and Bailey will go for another bit. Bailey and Becky probably have one more, but maybe Lyra is going to be somebody that is in the world title picture. You know, I talked about Julia and Stephanie last night, but maybe she gets there. I don't know. So
yeah, I guess just going back to the women's triple threat, I'm still wondering on the whole Stephanie Vaquera of it all.
She's winning,
She
man.
challenged. Yeah, she challenged
no,
right
I mean-
afterwards.
Yeah,
She's winning. I'm telling you. That's my hot Traz told
I
you
want
take
it
right
to
now.
happen, but I just don't know.
It is tough because Naomi's having a really good run right now. Hear me out. Naomi's not going to make it a WrestleMania as champion. Like, that's not going to happen. They're going to put on, like, that always happens where she's like the Nia Jax currently, but she's doing a lot of good work. I just feel like they're going to rocket Stephanie. And I'm like I said, I'm still going with the whole, Stephanie Rhea WrestleMania collision. It's happening. But, yeah, we'll see. And then after that, I'm blanking all. It was the steel cage next, right?
Yep. Solo versus Jacob for the U.S. title.
Yeah. What do you think about this, David?
Man, so many crazy spots, so many crazy spots, but it didn't have the outcome that I expected. It got a little bit, again, you'd think cage match, okay, there may be some stuff, but it's still, man, we went down this bloodline or family tree
We're still
stuff
going down it,
so
man.
much. And why the hell is Jimmy here? Like, I feel like my guy is sitting there in the back asking Trips like, so can me and my brother start teaming again? And he's like, or you could go out there and run in on this cage match. And he's like, but yeah, me and my brother really want to team again. Or follow me
He's with
here.
Roman. He's with the big dog.
You can go out and do something with JC Mateo. Like that's what they're doing right now. Like that, Jimmy's just floundering. This stuff is just floundering. I don't know where they go from here, especially with Solo winning, which I thought that Jacob was going to win. Let's end this. Let Jacob go do something else. And then it kind of felt weird. So the entire match, the announcers were really talking about, oh, Jacob's used to being in cages because he was in jail, and then he rips off the cups. Jacob rips off the cups because he was a
used
former
to being in
criminal. Like,
cages.
I'm like, geez, this is getting a little much with the bringing up his past and think, oh, they didn't want him in the bloodline because he was a former criminal. I'm like, man,
Yeah,
poor,
it's like
poor
Booker T,
Jacob. Just,
WrestleMania 19 type of still like bordering on that. But yeah, what do you think, Espos? Did you just live up to? I feel like you got like a little bit of what you were pitching, but they didn't go full Monty with it.
Yeah, no, I didn't really like this match that much. I feel like it was like I don't
Espos'
know.
booking of it yesterday was better, but
Yeah, I don't know. It was like they did do some good stuff in there, but I felt like even the stuff like after the match ended with Jacob doing the moonsault on the guys, it's like you could have just done that in the match and like just have
Yep.
Solo win anyway. Like you
Have
could have done
have
just
him
have,
move
like-
out of the way.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Those two guys catch him. Solo misses and he gets out. So you make Jacob look like, oh, you went for like a big payback move. You should have focused on Solo. Like you could put it on him, but they obviously they don't want to do that. They want to, So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
no.
much all like this, and
Yeah.
also like Jimmy being like the worst assist. Like he hit like 2 super kicks, got like knocked out, and by the time he was fighting again, the match was already over.
yeah, and it's so funny because for a second, because he was outnumbered, I thought, okay, Jay is gonna come out. Jay was there last night. He's gonna come out, and this is how they're gonna get them back together. Roman's gone. Here we go. But with Jay not coming out, it really just feels like Jimmy is like has nothing going on. It's like what I said in the Discord. It's like he is fighting a war that ended years ago. Like okay, sure, you could say the Netflix premiere where Rome became the original tribal chief again, but really, this ended at War Games. They beat the other bloodline. It's over. Like, and especially Netflix, it's definitely done. Like at this point, I would just leave them alone. And even then, like I found for the few times I watched SmackDown, like Jacob and Jimmy just started teaming together like just after he got turned on. They didn't have this big moment. They didn't have anything. Just like, oh yeah, you're babyface now. I forgive you. Let's move forward. It was weird because like they even like played up like the Usos and other people like, oh, we don't mess with Fatu. Like he's dangerous. We don't want him around. But it's like nah, he's fine. He's cool. So it's just my hope for this is like we said because of Cody and whatnot. I don't think Jacob is going to main title picture, but even if I would be completely down if SmackDown open up and they just, Jacob comes out, he turns heel via promo. But no, like if he just like killed Cody and like, yeah, just make Jacob heel. They won't because Jacob got over as a babyface and they should. So my worry is that this is not the end. Like we're getting Solo and Jacob for, I'm going to say like
Maybe
another 2
wrestling
months.
Tala Tonga
Yes.
in a singles match, then a tag match, then a
And
singles match.
they're waiting for Tama Tonga too. You know they're waiting for that fucking guy to come
I
back because then they
honestly
got
thought
another
like
one.
they were when like Solo like actually won the match and like obviously it takes longer for him to get out of the cage. For a second, I thought like in my fantasy booking of like Tama Tonga being on like Jacob's side. I thought he was gonna like show up and like hold the door open or something and then like hit everyone with it or something
Yeah.
like that. Like for a second when they were holding on so long, obviously it's because Solo actually was gonna end up walking out of it. But when they were holding, I was like, oh, he's gonna come out of the crowd and help Jacob because he was also like my
Yeah.
like my like reasoning for like why like Tom out of all of them was like he was the other one that was like getting over like Jacob just because of like the memes of him like yelling
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
I thought if there was one like another one they could make like a face would be him.
God, God damn. It's just gonna keep. It's gonna keep going. It's like that meme you shared, S-Bubs. It's like the Rise of Skywalker. We're at that point, but a little update here, which I need some clarification on this. Triple H at this post show thing stated essentially, the headline said essentially John Cena wanted Brock Lesnar to return. The quote is, one of the first things I said to Cena is, who do you want and how, and we're working through that. So what Triple H, I guess, is saying is for the next 4 months, this is going to be like that case. Cena has a list of people. He did the Cody list, right? He had people he wants to work through. Okay, if that's true, fine. There's two things. One, I would still say, hey, John, that's great, but we're not going to do that for X, Y, and Z. And I don't think John's going to be like, that's it. I'm not retiring here. I'm leaving Triple H. Like, I think, okay. And two, I need clarification because John Cena has said this, and a bunch of other like dirt sheet reporters have said John hasn't really asked for opponents. He just said like, give me what you want me to do. I'm going to do it. But now Triple H is saying that he's asking to work with Brock. So it's like, so what is it? Is John like, are you telling John, hey, you're going to work with Brock? And John's like, okay, I'm a company guy, do it. Or did John have a list and say like, yeah, give me Brock? Like, I cannot wait for like the follow up with everybody because that's our SRS also to be like, no, like we knew no one knew, but like really no one knew other than a few people and stuff. But it's just like, I'm very curious to see what happens with the fall of this because we're being told different things. Is Cena will work with anybody or Cena's requesting Brock, which is like, maybe is that what, I guess I don't know John Cena. I guess maybe he thought, man, I need one more match with Brock Lesnar, but that makes me think that because who has he actually wrestled? He's not counting the Rumble or Chamber. All single matches, he's never wrestled somebody yet that he's never worked before, right? Because it was Cody, R-Truth, Orton, and Punk, and now it's gonna be Brock. So I think there's a good chance, even that last match, they might find other people that he's already worked with. I still think the last match should be.
The rumored last match is like Gunther from
Gunther,
like
yes,
from someone who has gotten like all the Cena stuff like right,
and that's
much.
that's great for me. That should be, but that also tells me that these other matches up we get like. There might be some more like nostalgia runs or whatever, and I don't know who else you could do. I know I've seen the meme of trying to get Edge back for like. I don't think we're do a one night trade. Have Bailey go over there with Monet for Forbidden Door and have Edge because I'll tell you what, there was memes of like Edge versus John Cena is like things I'm least interested in 2025. I'll take Edge versus John Cena over John Cena versus Brock Lesnar every fucking day of the week. I'll tell you that. Like, at least the promos with Cena and Edge are going to be fun. Brock's just going to, Brock doesn't even have Paul anymore. What the fuck is Brock going to do, So.
Yeah, but I don't really know, like, other, like, Cena rivals that he could, like,
Seth.
Have a match with. Yeah, I guess Seth.
They'll do that.
I feel like they definitely have him. I'm trying to think of other ones, like... There's not really any other like huge.
Hell, bring back Batista before you do anything else.
Yeah, that's the only other one I was thinking.
Give me what I want.
Well, no, and the other one is two. So let's say for every month you get an opponent. I think I've mapped it out. If you wanted to, you could do Brock, you could do AJ, you could do Seth, and then he ends it with Gunther. Like, he literally could work it because everyone wants that AJ match again too, right? Which again is like the Punk thing of like they're not gonna recapture that SummerSlam or Rumble match. Like, don't even try it. But they're he's like fucking Anakin. They're like, I'm gonna do the backflip and try and flip over Obi-Wan. But honestly, it could be AJ and Seth. That could be a Seth title run, or like he's in War Games, right? Like for somehow Cena gets wrapped up in the Seth
I feel like
story.
He probably will be.
Yeah, and that's where he'll probably work a bunch of other people, and that's where we get him and Braun. But Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be interesting. And maybe, who knows? Maybe John Cena's going to come out and say, yeah, I want Brock back. But again, company, you could just say, hey, Cena, we're not going to do that. But we'll see. It's going to be an interesting. I'm excited for next month when we do the gimmick to see all the reports and stuff. So we had the cage match, and then next was AJ and Dom, right?
and
Speaking of AJ,
AJ,
yeah. This was
Yeah.
a fun match. It was a very. Let's just fucking tribute Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So I
I'm
loved
here
it.
for it.
Yeah,
my thought was like, this is like doing like not like exactly, but it's like what the Dom and Eddie match would have been. Is what I was
kind
thinking.
of, yeah, in a
Yeah.
way. And it's not a comedy match, but it kind of worked as that a little bit. Like it was a light-hearted match, and I think this worked for it. And it was so cool. I love the finish because it was different with the Eddie and Angle match. With the Eddie match, it was Angle working over his ankle, and they made a big deal that Eddie untied his boot because they're like, oh, his ankle must be swelling. That's why he untied his boot, and then he kicks it off and rolls him up. This was so good because Dom, like, just off the side of the camera, I saw his hand just quickly unzip the boot, and I was like, oh my god, he's doing Eddie 20, and the Eddie 20 finish is a top 10 finish. I don't care, like that, and it's just so well done. Rarely gets done, but yeah, you had that. You had sequences. You had AJ with the Eddie gear. Even AJ did.
I wonder if AJ's son has that bleached hair, or if he did it just to be.
He
the
looked
baby
like
Dom.
Baby
Yeah.
Dom, right? It was crazy. It's
Yeah.
like, who is this guy? And it's like his son. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I thought it was like he went back in time and got Dominic Mysterio, but like even AJ was busting out Eddie's brain buster that he did in 05 as his heel finish. He just like randomly busted out. If anyone wants to look up the heel turn on Rey Mysterio, he did that on the steel steps, and it was fucking brutal. Oh, I forgot to mention that too. In the Cena Cody match, when Cena got those steps, I was worried for my man. Cena was fighting for his life.
Yeah, I didn't think it was because of the heaviness. It was just like he couldn't reach. Like I saw like because he was trying to hold it like diagonally.
Yes.
And, like he got one hand and then he could like just barely reach. I saw he was struggling, but I didn't think it was like, oh, he can't, like he's too weak to lift it or anything.
I don't think it's
I
too
don't
bad.
know,
I think
man.
a little
something
bit.
was up. Something was up.
Because even on I listened to Stephanie podcast, he's been talking about like I can't lift like I could. Yeah, he's like, you see that record on the wall? I can't even get anywhere near that. So I think it was a bit of both. I think it was just like he had some shaking. He's even too like when they did the Avalanche AA and the bottom rope was out. When he stepped on that middle rope, the middle rope was like, I was like, oh my god! Like there's so many times I was like, Cena's gonna get fucking
like
injured.
ring
Yeah.
collapse.
Because I've always thought about like when we're in this now, but when they announced Rock and Cena like a year ahead, and everyone's like, "What happens if someone gets injured?" I've always thought that about right now, like, what happens if Cena gets injured? Like, what do they do? They just delay
I've
the
thought
retirement
that
tour,
too,
you know?
yeah.
It's just
Also-
and I flashes in this match. I thought he was going down, so
In the TLC match, this is just going back to it, randomly, like a bunch of times when they were setting up ladders, like right in the middle, it was looking like very like the mat was like very like light or bouncy to me.
Yeah.
To the point where I was thinking that at some point someone was gonna like go through the ring, like the spot of like someone gets like get put through the ring. Like I thought they were gonna do like how do you take like the edge spear off the ladder like to the next level would be like spearing him off like a huge ladder like through the ring. But I guess it was just like I don't know. It was just
They
my
probably
eyes.
had to
It
take
wasn't
some
anything,
give
but-
out of it for the falls and spots and things like that. So
Yeah,
give
that
it a
might have
little bit
been.
more
Like,
bounce to it.
There was a time where like the Motor City Machine Guns were taking a while to like set up the ladder to climb it because it kept like bouncing. Like they didn't want to step on it because like they would put it down and it would like bounce pretty much.
yeah.
So there was definitely some spots of the ring that were like different in some way.
And like I said, thank God Cena got it out of there. But yeah. Let's see. This is a fun match. I still think what we said's happening. AJ's winning in Paris or like a Raw main event. I think this was a good
Yeah.
way to do it. Fun, like to
I
be
think
just
it
solid.
fit with the,
you know.
the whole story, obviously, of like it was a very comedic storyline, and even like it even fits with like the AJ like dressing as different people, like to do like the Eddie cosplay here. I
Yeah.
thought it worked, and yeah, it was a fun match.
And it was crazy. This made me feel so old because they were talking about 20 years ago that ladder match was. Man, I was in that arena, and as a kid, I was there yelling for Eddie to punch Dominic because I was a big Eddie guy. I was like, because there's a moment in the match which is so crazy, but like he's like, when you're with me, you're gonna learn what it means to be a man, and what it means to be a man is this. And he starts to go back, and like I remember because the commentator's like, oh my god, that son of a bitch was gonna hit him, and Ray stops him, but like literally Eddie was about to hit Dominic, which I love this week. I can't remember what the question was. It was something not even setting Dominic up for the answer. It was like biggest regrets in wrestling or something like that. He's like, yeah, when Ray beat Eddie, it was just awful. Like I could have been raised as a Guerrero. I love that he just lives the gimmick that Eddie's his dad and
They've
Ray's
been doing a whole like on the WWE's YouTube like celebrating the 20-year career of Dominic Mysterio.
Oh, I love it. He said in the presser, right? He's like, I'm a 20-year veteran.
Yeah,
It's like, oh,
he's like, yeah, I've probably been wrestling as long as AJ has. Yeah.
That's man. Like he's so
live
good.
the gimmick, man. Live the gimmick.
If you would have told me in like 10 years, 5 years from now, he's probably going to be like the top 4 in the company, I'd be like, oh, that's crazy. But now it's like, yeah, he'll probably be, whether it's a baby or heel, he's like, he's winning the world or WWE title at some point. Next 5 years, it is happening. He's, I don't know if babyface or heel, but like if he's a heel, that is a perfect Money in the Bank winner one day. That is so perfect. Like he's winning the world title. He is somehow a bigger ceiling than fucking Finn Balor, which is crazy to say, but like he does because he's great in the ring. He lives the gimmick, everything like that. But yeah, I think this match was everything it needed to be. And then was that it?
That's it.
That's it. So that's everything we talked about. Wow. So we did. Well, honestly, if the Brock thing didn't happen, this show would have been like much shorter. That took up 40 minutes of it. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good night. Like I can rate it like separately. Like I think I gave on Kickbox like last night like a 3.25 overall. This is like I think like a 4.5. Like even though AJ and Dom was like good, it's nothing like crazy good. And the KH match was kind of like underwhelming. Actually, I'd go 4. 4.5 is high because even the women's triple threat was good, and the Becky finish was a little odd. So I think that's where I am. I think I have like a 4 out of 5 for this night because I think the in-ring stuff was really good. Some decisions, many decisions, but even just some regular match decisions were head scratching of like, okay, what were we thinking here? So
Yeah, I had it at about a 4.25 before when they were hugging it out at the end. I was like, man, this is a good 4.25, 4.5 PLE. Like they really redeemed themselves. So again, if you hit the stop button right then and there, it's a 4.25 easily. And everyone who performed on this show did great. Again, you just have the black cloud over it.
Yeah, which is going to be interesting. So
I'd have to think. I'd probably put this slightly above yesterday's show. So yeah, probably about the same as you guys, as like a 4 in that range.
Yeah, well, there we go. So I just want to confirm, because we did this yesterday, Forbidden Doors date there, which is August 24th. So yeah, that's, I think the next time we will be, because Clash isn't it a Sunday though?
31st.
It's a Sunday though, right?
Yeah, the 24th is on a Sunday.
But at least no. Well, I meant for Clash too, because they usually don't do them Sundays anymore. But because I think the time difference. Let me find out what time it is, because maybe we'll be going live that day. Let's see, start time.
I don't really know why it's on Sunday, to be honest.
Well, I think because they're in Paris, so they'll probably start like in the afternoon or something, right? Like time zone.
Other times they start like the last time it was in Paris, it started at like 1.
So it's supposedly starting at 10 a.m. PSD Right. That's why I'm thinking. You're thinking 1. I'm like, yeah, 10. Yeah. So for me, I think we'll probably.
I just saw like a scoop of like what's next for Becky or who it is.
Think it's a meme or a real scoop?
A real scoop, I think.
Okay. Can you at least give us a hint? Is it someone that's already on Raw right now?
Yeah, I think they're technically part of the Raw roster.
Oh no, they're technically okay. So next. Let's so before we guess, we'll say we'll do next gimmick will be August 31st, because that's an earlier afternoon pay-per-view, so we'll watch it, and then at some point during the day we'll do that. So we'll cover Clash in Paris and Forbidden Door, so that's the next one, and at some point we'll decide when GM mode the next stream is for season 3, so look up for that. But okay, someone's on the Raw roster.
I'm trying to think. I don't think they've really like interacted like as of late, I can't think of. Well, I mean, Becky has been like she's doing like her Becky verse. Like I don't think she's talked to anyone besides
Yeah.
Lyra and Bailey for like the entire year.
Is it a newbie or a veteran?
A veteran.
Is it Natalia?
No.
Okay.
But you're close.
But say, my guess would have been Asuka, but
No.
Okay. I thought Natalia, because imagine if they finally let her do the natty, Bloodsport gimmick and like fire up there. But okay, you're both wrong. Who is it?
It's Nikki Bella.
Oh. Okay. You know what? A couple weeks ago we did this, but you know what? We're doing another run again. Because I think I did it for Nikki Bella.
Shut the fuck up!
Holy God, what are you showing me? Come on.
Huh? Isn't that right? Huh, brother?
No, no!
Just right.
Honey?
Agassi, who is the head.
I'm gonna fucking kill you! They are going out of their way to fuck me.
Oh, I lied. There's more than.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And the last one, my favorite.
Look at me! Oh no! Jesus Christ!
Jesus Christ, no! We're gonna get Becky and Nikki Bella for the IC title. At first, when Espo's Bunsko pitched Rhea, I'm like, nah, I don't know if that works. It feels weird. Rhea in the secondary right now. I would take anything. And again, I'm not saying Nikki Bella's like all-time better. So it's just like, oh man, like between Nikki and Brock and some of these decisions, man, Vince McMahon, I'm waiting for that no chance in hell needs to hit any day and be like, man, I've been like this just is feeling like fucking 2020, 2018, like Nikki Bella and Becky, like really, like that's what Becky wants to do. Becky wants to work with Nikki Bella, like. What are we gonna get here? Like going from Lyra to Nikki? I hope it's just like a 1 month and done, like Saturday night's main event thing. Then sure, but like, oh my god, she's been cutting this promo and then look, and you can't. Oh my god, I can't believe that's a real thing. Oh my god, and then they're gonna have to talk about Becky's like, yeah, you really did start the women's evolution, but I evolved it, and like, no, and oh my god, I wish it was Natalia. Fuck, I wish. Where's Natty? Where? Well, there you go. Maybe Clash in Paris. We're talking about Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch. We'll see. We'll be back. Also, if you didn't listen, check out, we did night one, a full review. That was a bit more of a fun review. This was a controversial episode, but check out that. Like we said, check out in the streams. We've done 2 seasons now of GM mode on WWE 2K25. We will do season 3. At some point, we'll start that back up. And yeah, so lots of good gimmick stuff. Thank you everyone that listened, that was in the chat, everyone that listened after the fact. Thank you guys for being here 2 episodes in a row. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen in a month's time, but it won't be boring. We'll catch you then.